class, children. So in today's science subject we are going to learn a new lesson. So already you all know that we have completed 2 lessons, right? 7th lesson and 8th lesson, that is the food habits of organisms and adaptations. Okay, and today we are going to learn a new lesson, that is interdependence in nature. Interdependence in nature. Okay children, I request everyone to take all your science book, page number 44. Everyone take out your science book and turn to the page 44. Today a new chapter we are going to learn. Okay, so interdependence in nature. First of all, we must know what is the meaning for this word interdependence. I-N-T-E-R, inter, D-E-D-P-E-N, pen, interdependence, D-E-N-C-E. Okay, interdependence in nature. Interdependence means depending of 2 or more people or things on each other, each other. Okay, so interdependence means 2 or more people or things depending on each other. So as we are all human beings from our childhood, whom we are depending on? We are depending on our parents, right? Same like that. Okay, shall we all? So here interdependence in nature. So in nature this interdependence is happening. Interdependence is happening. So we are going to see what is that. So everyone take out your science book, turn to the page 44. Now first, the surroundings in which an organism lives is called its environment. So underline this word environment. We always use this word environment. But what is that meaning? The surroundings in which an organism lives is called its environment. So we are living, right? We are living, where we are living, and the surrounding of ours is said to be environment. Same like for animals also, birds also. The surroundings in which the birds, the wild animals, domestic animals lives is called its environment. Environment. The environment includes everything that surrounds and affects an organism. See, environment it includes the air, the soil, the climate, the plants and the animals. Everyone please underline this. Environment includes everything that surrounds and affects an organism. That is the air, the soil, the climate, the plants and the animals. In the case of a human being, for us, it also includes the people around the person and the interaction of the person with these people. See, in the case of human being, that is, we are living our life. So we are facing many problems and we are just talking, we are having conversation with some other peoples, right? Daily, each and every day, the routine work we are doing like this. So this is our environment. Okay, then first subtopic is components of the environment. What are the components? The natural environment of an organism has 2 components. Components means parts. So parts of the environment. Components means parts. Okay, underline this word components. So components, the natural environment of an organism. So naturally, the natural environment of an organism, it has 2 components, that is 2 parts. These are the biotic component and the abiotic component. Please underline the biotic component and the abiotic component. So what are the 2 components? The biotic component and the abiotic components. Okay, first, bios means life. So bios means what? Life. Thus the biotic component of the environment is made up of living beings. So bio means life, means it includes all living beings. Okay. So in other words, like plants, animals and microorganisms make up the biotic component of the environment. Bio means life, living being. So it includes everything. That is even plants, animals, microorganisms, everything comes under biotic component. Plants including algae also are the producer. Producer, I think so you all remember in the previous lesson we learned. Producer means making their own food or food providers of the environment. Okay, animals consume or eat what plants make. So we all know that. For example, in the previous topic we learned herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, right? Herbivores means plant eating animals. See, animals consume. Consume means it will use. Okay, use. Animal consume or eat what plants make. Yes, what plant is making, the animal are used to eat it. Right? Elephant, giraffe, deer, all these are herbivore animals. So they are called consumers. Why they are called consumers? Underline this word consumer. Why? Because animals consume what plants make. Okay, that is why those animals are said to be consumers. Microorganisms and some other organisms decompose or digest waste. Decompose, underline this word, decompose. See, microorganism. Microorganism means the organism which we can able to see only through microscope. Those organisms are said to be microorganisms. See, microorganism and some other organisms, it will decompose or it will digest. Okay, that is why they are called decomposers. So that's why we are calling it as decomposers. You will learn more about them as you read on. Now this is very important. See, biotic component. Bio means what? Life. That is, it includes all living beings. See, plants are said to be producers, animals, consumers. Why? Because what plant is making, the animals will eat it. Then decomposers. Decomposers means it will digest, or else you can say it as digest waste. See, abiotic component. So what is meant by abiotic component? Here they have given. The abiotic component of the environment, it is made up of non-living things. Biotic living things means abiotic non-living things such as air, water, soil and light. Okay, so you can underline air, water, soil and light and all abiotic component, that is non-living things. Biotic means living things. So now you can see this picture. Abiotic component. See, light and temperature, non-living thing. Water, non-living thing. Air, non-living thing. Soil, non-living thing. Okay children, I think you all understood. So first, what is meant by interdependence? Interdependence means depending of two or more person or animals or thing on each other. That is said to be interdependence. And we all know what is meant by environment. Environment means the surroundings which an organism lives. Okay, it includes air, soil, climate and even plants, animals. Everything comes under environment. And components. What is meant by components? Component means parts. So, how many components are there in the environment? Natural. Okay, the natural environment of our organism has two components. That is biotic component and another one is abiotic component. So bios means life. That means it includes all living things. Abiotic means non-living things. Okay. Now next. Interdependence. That is depending two or more on each other. All the things that make up the environment are connected to each other or depend on each other. Yes, of course. All the things. What are the things that is making up of the environment? One to one it is getting connected on each other. Okay. We can also say that there are interdependent. So we can call it as interdependent. Not only one thing, many things are there depending on each other. So let us study the relations of plants, animals, relations of plants and animals and microorganisms with each other and with the non-living things that surround them. Now we are going to learn the relation between plants and animals, plants and microorganisms, animals and microorganisms with each other and along with the non-living things that surround it. Okay, shall we all? Okay. So the first one we are going to see is plants and animals. Plants and animals. Okay. Page number 45, you are having the subtopic plants and animals. You already know that animals depend on plants for food, right? Yes, we all know that. For example, as I told you in the beginning of the class, deer, elephant, giraffe, all these are herbivores. These animals depend on plants, okay? For what purpose? For food. Herbivores eat plants, yes. And carnivores, including scavengers also, okay, eat herbivores. Do you remember scavenger? Scavenger means vulture, for example, vulture and all I told you, no, it will eat the useful parts of the dead bodies, okay? So herbivores, it eat plants, and the carnivores, including scavengers also, eat herbivores, yes. For example, if deer eats plants, who will eat the deer? Who will eat deer? Of course, tiger. Tiger is a carnivore. Lion is a carnivore, okay? Then, this linking together of plants and animals by the process of eating and being eaten is called a food chain. So, this line you should underline, very, very important. In examination, you may get a question like, what is a food chain? Food chain means linking together of plants and animals. What is the process? The process of eating and being eaten is called a food chain. Okay. So, this picture gives you a clear understanding, better to understand you better. This, see, grasshopper, it eats plants. See, you can see the grasshopper eating plants. And grasshopper was eaten by mice. So this mice, it will eat the grasshopper. And then who will eat this mice? Of course, owl. Owl eat this mice. So this is the linking of plants and animals by the process of eating and being eaten. This is said to be food chain. Okay, children, do you all understood what I said? And the next one. Animals depend on plants for shelter too. See, animals depend not only for food. Animals will not depend plants not only for food, it also depend for shelter also. See, birds, monkeys, squirrels and different kinds of insects find shelter among plants. We all know that birds at night time, during night time, it will stay on the tree only. Monkeys, even squirrels, everything, okay? Even snakes and leopards find shelter on the branches of forest trees. Maybe we all might have seen in Discovery Channel, leopards, snakes and all, it used to. Snakes and all, it used to just twine on the tree branches. It also takes shelter on the plants, trees, okay? So, do animals help plants in any way? Do animals help plants in any way? See, plants are helping animals. Do animals help plants? You know about one way already. What way? Animals eat fruits and throw away the seeds or pass them out with stew. Yes. Some animals, it will eat fruits and it will throw the seeds somewhere else. Okay, or else it will pass out the stew. This helps to disperse, that means scatter the seeds. Okay. The seeds of plants need to be scattered. See, the seeds of a plant, no, it's not to be placed in one place. It has to be scattered, so that seedlings do not have to compete with their parents for water, light and minerals. If the seeds are in one place, it has to struggle for water and sunlight. If the seeds are scattered, so whatever the plant needs, whatever the seed needs, it will take directly. It will not depend on its parents, okay? So some fruits and seeds have spikes and bristles which get attached to the body of animals. Okay, some of the animal's body will be like spines, it will have spines or else fur, thick fur. So what happens? These seeds will get on to the animal's body, and wherever the animal goes, there the seeds will scatter and it start growing. So this is another way in which animals help to disperse seeds. So this is one way of animals dispersing the seeds. Okay, children? So I think so you all understood. Please go through it and you can see this picture. Monkeys are all taking shelter on, and leopards also taking shelter on tree branches. Okay, please go through this page number 43 and 44 and 45. You will get a clear picture and you will understand. Thank you so much, children.